Alright guys, so we're up on the bench with our E36 coupe or sedan or convertible front door panel. We're going to go ahead and get the factory mid and tweeter off of the panel itself so we can work with them. I want you to first inspect this outer ring of your drivers to make sure they're not cracked. And even still, once we get these off of the door panel, you don't want to hold it by this ring because this plastic tends to be fairly brittle. So what we're going to do is take our hand and kind of firmly place it on the front, and we're just going to take this ring, twist the tweeter off, push it out through there. Be careful again not to touch that ring. Same thing with the mid-range. Just twist this guy off of here. The mid-range should just fall right out. So now we've got our door panel free, and here in a moment, once the glue gun's good and hot, we're going to glue these panels back on. So for now, we're going to show you how to go ahead and pry out our various speakers. We'll start with the mid-range. And again, we don't want to hold it by this little piece here. You want to be careful with that. But you guys holding it right here on this part. First thing we need to do is get this back bump plate off. You see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces securing it. We're just going to take, we're using a straight pick here, or an angle pick. But you have to just pry, just push it up like this. This one's tight, man. They aren't usually this tight. There we go. Careful, don't poke your. Then you can just take this. Whoop. This side poke. It's good you guys are seeing this because this is more likely what you would see. So this just pops out of there like so. So now we've got the bump plate backed out, and the last thing we need to do, we have 1, 2 little tabs that secure the front face of the speaker in. Let's just pry that out. Pry that out. Speaker pulls right out. So our housing is clean now, ready for our new driver to drop in there. So we want to look and make sure these tabs are pushed back in. Don't break them, just push them into a point where they're, because this is going to help snap in our new mid-range. So we're going to take our BSW mid-range, and you can see here there's a little key, a little indention in the metal ring on the tweeter, or on the mid-range. It's going to key with this groove in the factory speaker. It's going to snap in there like so. We're pretty anal about this. This would be fine if you wanted to just snap it in there and let it go. I usually put little dabs of hot glue down there, and depends on when you're watching this video, we're going to have a little clip that snaps in this little tab and this little tab and just further snaps the mid-range in tighter. That will be shipping with the speakers, I would say sometime after February of 2008. So once you got the mid-range in there, we're going to put a couple dabs of hot glue. We're going to put our plug-and-play connector on there, which yours will already have when they arrive to you. And now we'll move over to the tweeter and go over the tweeter install. So it's the same way. Set the mid-range driver down carefully. Tweeter. It's a little bit more difficult to work with the tweeter because there's not so much room to hold it. You can see BMW glues it in there, just blobs of brown glue down there. So what we've got to do is kind of pry that out in a similar fashion. We're going to take our straight pick, pry out the little tab. Remember, don't hold it by this ridge. Pry out the little tab, and then you can pry the tweeter right out of there. The tweeter is out of the housing. You see it's Mylar. That's why your car stereo sounds so badly, because the tweeters are horrible. So the tweet's out of there. We've got both housings now ready. The mid-range is ready to go. We're going to drop the tweeters here in just a moment, and we'll get back to attaching the speakers to the door, and lastly attaching all of the pieces that came loose back to the door panel. Once we get this in, you probably noticed beforehand your car was a rattle trap with your front doors being so loose. When we put these panels back in and re-glue all the pockets and the trims to the panel, your car will be solid again when you shut the door, so you'll get a nice good thud as opposed to a, sound like your door panel's falling off. So we'll join you guys in a moment for the tweeter install and the rest of this once the glue gun has heated up.